for this episode of Let's Talk Jinx. It's patch 12.14, in which case what we do is we're going to go over changes to Jinx or changes that might affect Jinx in the AD carry role. Now, there are actually no direct changes to Jinx on this patch. However, there are several support and AD carry changes that might affect when you're playing with these supports, playing against these supports, or playing against these AD carries. The first one, as we scroll down, actually is Janna. The E base shield amount is increased at all ranks, the bonus heal and shield power is decreased, the R per second is increased at all ranks, but the AP scaling is increased. And basically, they're kind of reeling in and overtuned healing and shielding on these champions. And the next couple patches, period, they say are going to be after kind of just stabilizing things so people can climb in rank comfortably, and also playoffs for worlds and stuff that are coming up as well. So if you're playing with the Janna, just keep in mind that the shield amount will actually be higher now when they go to shield you, but the bonus heal and shield power will be going down from 20% to 15%. So this might even itself out a little bit, be an overall nerf, but not super severe. Well, on the Monsoon, the heal per second is actually going up, and the AP ratio is also going up. So the R is still going to be very impactful for healing. It's just the shield is going to be the one that's getting tweaked and maybe nerfed quite a bit. We'll have to see an execution. So if you're playing against a Janna and someone pops the shield and it's been feeling pretty frustrating to break through, maybe you'll feel a little bit better. We'll see. The healing is still going to be the same as it always is, though. The AP ratio is even going up, you know, to 45 to 50%. So there's that. That's as we continue scrolling down, we see Renata Glask is getting a base AD and base health and base AD being decreased, just straight up. Basically, she's kind of a staple top, you know, support right now in the bottom lane, so they're kind of reducing her base health by about 50, it looks like, and the base AD by about 2. So that would be interesting to see. Of course, as a support, it's not going to be as effective as like as a champion that last hits, where that might matter a little bit in the early game before items. But it will be interesting for the harass, because, you know, Renata is a range support. So some people would kind of like, you know, strut their stuff and just be up in, you know, range and constantly harassing the enemy laners. So if you're playing with one, and that's the kind of aggressive style that you've been accustomed to, it probably will still be there. Honestly, it's 2 base AD. Their job is to harass and not, you know, kill them. They're trying to gift the kill to you most likely anyways. So it might not be that bad if you're playing with Renata Glass. If you're playing against one, it still might not be that bad because the damage is only going down by 2. However, the health might be a bit better if you're facing one, because that 50 health, especially at level 1 or something, if you hit that level 2 first, there you go. Maybe you can get a kill with a ignite. You have like an ignite support, like Thresh or Leona or something. I should enunciate more often. That might be actually pretty useful, as a matter of fact, so keep that in mind. Seraphine has actually just kind of became a bot lane, like AP, you know, carry champion, more so than even just a support and a mid laner, which her support and mid lane they say is actually pretty fine, but her also bot lane carry potential is also good. So they're nerfing the W shield, and the heal AP scaling is being decreased. And they're doing that to kind of prioritize her strengths while also nerfing her so she's not like a go-to, like, oh, you know, bot lane, pick Seraphine. Why even pick an AD carry? Pick Seraphine. They want to kind of open that up a bit more. Sivir, meanwhile, I guess, well, in the Jinx matchup, I should say, the Jinx Seraphine matchup doesn't happen too often, but if you're playing with or against one, just keep in mind the W shield and the AP scaling will be decreased, so the heal per ally is also looking like it's going to be decreased. Yeah, from 0.6 per 100 AP to 0.4 per 100 AP. So there you go. The shield from 35% AP to 25%, things like that, you know. Means you can harass them a little bit easier if you're playing as a Jinx with the range and the rockets and stuff too, so keep that in mind as well. How many times I'm going to say keep that in mind, I don't know, but stay hydrated because it is hot. So take a shot of water every time I say that. Sivir's getting a Q bug fix. The W damage to minions is being decreased, but now executes minions below a certain threshold, which is interesting because depending on how behind you get, you might feel like a minion, so the W might just straight up execute you. That is a joke, by the way. It won't do that. Do not listen to that specific part of the video, and that's your takeaway from the video. Absolutely no. But at the same time, there was a bug, and it looks like the cast time on the Q is being fixed for Sivir if you're playing against the Sivir. And on the W, it did a bit too much damage to minions. You know, the 80% is going down to 65%, but it will execute them when they're below 15 health. So last hitting with the W is going to be fun. So one of the things we talked about with the Sivir changes too is you might not want to stand in the minion wave to block stuff. Sivir stuff tends to go through a lot of minions anyways, right? They don't get blocked like some skill abilities like Morgana's Binding or something would. So just don't be in the minion wave unless it's like immediately after the W has been thrown, so you know there's going to be like a cooldown of at least like 10 seconds or something like that, where you can step up if you need to. Because if you're going against like a Sivir and Morgana, you know, you don't want to do both be in and out the minion wave when you can to dodge whoever you're trying to dodge accordingly. Varus, base AD is being increased. Varus has not been hitting the mark. You know, he's always like meta and pro play, and then when he's not, they're like, hey, we gotta get him back. Him and Ezreal and him and Ezreal and Kaisa. You know, that's how that works. Jinx is meta and pro play. We got to nerf her like 3 different times. Varus, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm being really biased right now. That's how this works. It's a Jinx channel. Deal with it. The base AD is going from 59 to 62. Now, like the Renata Glass one, I mentioned this. Last hitting is things that are changed the most when stuff like this happens. Where in which case, especially in the early game, pre-items, you're going to be able to last hit a little bit better on Varus is what this means, especially when you combine that with his passive, where when you kill a minion you get a burst of attack speed. A lot of Varuses like to set it up so that a minion's close to death, they hit it through the burst of attack speed and try and trade with you. So when you see that happening, if you see him setting up for that, back away if you can't fight him, or if you see it coming, try and fight him before he starts fighting you if you think you can take that fight. But the base AD will be up, so if nothing else, even if he's not necessarily getting kills on you, he might be CSing better. So he might be getting gold that way. So just keep that in mind. Maybe try and harass him off the minion wave as much as you can. So if he can't fight you, he also still can't use this bonus AD to get gold from CSing better. Yumi. The EAP scaling is being decreased. And so with that, Yumi is obviously dead. And we will never see Yumi again playing against Yumi or playing with Yumi. GG's. Moving on. Zeri, the Q passive has been adjusted and the R bonus magic damage is being decreased. So Zeri is actually someone that's going to be a little bit of a bot lane balanced champion as well. When she's meta, it seems like the kind of, because there's a lot of switches and levers to pull with balancing this champion versus some other champions. So it seems like in this particular case, with the Q passive being adjusted, which it says right click execute enemies with health under, right clicks executes enemies with health under 60 to 150. Oh, okay, 150 at level 18 though. Okay. Damage to shields or invulnerables does not proc this execute. That's the new one. The removed one was uncharged Zeri's right click attack no longer does increased damage to enemies below a certain threshold. It's kind of the same thing, but it's like a scaling thing, it looks like. So they changed it to be, instead of a certain threshold right click at all levels, it's a scaling thing per level. Okay. But the bonus magic damage on the R is going from 10, 15, and 20 to 5, 10, and 15. Same AP percentile. So basically the ultimate's going to be doing a little bit less magic damage to you specifically. I don't know if anyone's been dying to Zeri because of the magic damage specifically on their ultimate, but if you have been, it's going to be doing a little less. So there you go. Proc that Summer Hill. You're good to go. As we scroll through the rest of the patch, I mean, you got some things like health pots are getting nerfed actually. So the refillable potion, the corrupting potion, the health pot, they're all going to be giving you less health back. The biscuit delivery, bone plating, the cooldown on it, basically a lot of things to defend you. While Scorch, meanwhile, for example, is going up in its damage based on level. You got certain things like that. They kind of did a pass across things. It's like if it's a healing, protecting thing, it got nerfed. And if it's an aggressive thing, it's getting buffed because we need the LCS viewership to get back above 50,000. That would be nice. Exhaust is even getting a nerf. So you see systematic things like that that are coming in, it looks like. Changes to all the dragons, the Hextech dragons. Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff in here. I'm not looking specifically at everything because I'm just looking at things that will affect Jinx. And of course, maybe a dragon change would ultimately affect Jinx because it affects everybody. But maybe a little bit more Jinx specific things, if you will. Oh, Zon Cup Clash. Jinx is from Zon. There you go. Rank split 3, behavioral system, mythic content, bug fixes. Okay, so the only thing left in the patch to talk about is the Star Guardian skins, because you'll probably be seeing champions that use these skins in your game. So that's why I kind of mentioned Morgana earlier with Sivir. Star Nemesis Morgana is going to be a thing probably in the bot lane, maybe even in the mid lane. Rel as a support is probably going to be a thing you're going to have to deal with as well. Maybe Quinn, but Quinn's usually play top lane. So really just these two. People are going to probably play these champions, whether they're strong or not, for at least the first couple of days, because they want to, you know, play these skins on their mains and stuff. So you're probably also going against people that main those champions, as well as people that just saw the splash arts and are like, I gotta have that. So that's going to be all for this video then, though. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. ggGetJinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.